So imagine you're 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and you have to stick yourself every night in the stomach, connect it to a little IV pump, and sleep with it through the night.
My mom told me very early on that my first crisis was within 6 months. I had a high fever, it wouldn't go away. And as my dad would tell the story, he was like, I thought I was gonna lose you.
Washington, D.C. is our nation's capital for generations. Our families have been here. East of the river, there's a lot of poverty, not a lot of resources. We, again, are proud of where we're from.
Sickle cell has been in our families for over 5 generations. But we also have a lot of family that's still having challenges and living with this disease, such as London.
My mom told me around like 6, 7 months, that's when the doctors told her that I had sickle cell anemia. When the doctors told her, it was just so shocked. She just went into the car and just cried tears. Why me? Why does my son have to be the one with sickle cell? The doctors had told my parents that I wouldn't make it past 12. Boy, were those doctors wrong, because as I stand before you, speak before you, I'm 41.
We knew each other in church, St. Martin de Porres Church in New Haven, Connecticut.
What did you like about him?
His smile.
Denise got pregnant, so we decided that we would get married. This is back in, what was that, 1972. I knew that she had sickle cell disease. The most important thing the doctors wanted to know is, did I have anything in my blood that would possibly impact the child? They went through a panel of tests, and then they told me I had beta thalassemia trait. Yale found that out with Denise having SS. The first thing they talked about with us is aborting the child. Denise was adamant on having at least one child. She was willing to take the risk of a full-term pregnancy with all the complications that actually could go along with that, but also producing a child that would have the disease.
When I was 8 years old, I had my spleen taken out, and that was a huge big thing because I had tubes up in my nose and I wasn't talking to my mom, and I remember my mom being like, "Why won't you speak to me?" And I was just like, I don't understand why I'm here. I didn't get it. Yeah, and I didn't know, I was a child.
I had a crisis in my spine to where it paralyzed me from the neck down, and I had to learn how to walk again, use my arms again, and then again, you still got the stigma attached, even though they seeing it and seeing how it's affecting me.
The pandemic kind of opened my eyes to how, if you're carrying yourself in a certain way, you might come off as drug seeking.
You can explain your needs so much and still not be believed or heard by the person that's supposed to help you. Sometimes I won't even say that I have pain and I have pain because I feel like I'm gonna be looked over by the people that are supposed to help me.
When we go in these hospitals, emergency departments, the first thing that they say is, "Are you an addict?" It's so much stigma that's attached that they don't even take the time to even give you other medications like hydroxyurea, your folic acid. They just giving us pain medicine because they think that's what we're there for.
I remember that last crisis, it's almost like a beating sound, like something's pounding you, pounding you, pounding you. Then there's a stabbing kind of pain, and it's just shooting through your body. I could barely catch my breath, but all the time, like it's the hammering, it's the stabbing, it's just all over my body. And in the ER, sometimes it can be hard to get that help. Like I said, the pain is excruciating, And even though I feel like life's fading away, I couldn't get any help. I remember after almost 45 minutes of waiting, they just put me on the stretcher. And I'm just on the stretcher in the middle of a hallway. I'm crying out and but steady people are passing by. And that's kind of in that crisis, that's where it kind of goes blank for me.
Back in, what was that,
right.
1991.
That's right.
Okay, when she was a freshman, when she had her first crisis. We remember that well. We got the call, and then going to Howard and actually seeing the whole experience as far as how they take care of warriors. She was there a little longer than
Right.
she really had been in the past.
I prayed about it.
Yeah,
I prayed.
Yeah, we.
And
You've talked about your daughter a lot. Tell us the beautiful things about her.
Well, she loved people, and she had a smile that captivated everyone's attention. That's a picture of her going home service at Kingdom Fellowship in PG County in April of this year, and the things that she did to help others for the 50 years that we were blessed to have her. That was just the way she was.
well, we try to do everything we can think of before I make that horrible trip.
So what do you do?
Well,
Pray.
pray number one, but number two, Dr. Brown, people like yourself, we got to tell more of that story, because those house calls possibly could actually set the stage for that person being able to take care of themselves in the home before going to the ED.
It can be a daunting conversation for sickle cell people, but it's also how can you promote the change instead of just saying hey, I advocate and I'm on this picture for this. That's one thing, but what actions, what policies, what helpful things can you do to improve the quality of life for sickle cell warriors, right?
Everybody have their gifts and talents, and everybody can contribute, but no, we don't come together as a whole to make a louder noise.
You see these other illnesses, you see the funding that they get, you see all the support, you see all of it. And it's just when y'all gonna pay attention to us? We have an illness that we've been dealing with all our life, and it's painful and it's prominent and it affects so many people.
You gotta have hope that this disease, we're gonna crunch it. We're gonna try to put a big dent in it, and hopefully we can get others to be able to have a long and a better productive life as they go through their life experiences.
And if you happen to find any of this interesting, or more importantly, if you want to collaborate, check out the link below so that you can send us your comments, any stories you may have, anything, we're happy to entertain it. And this is really about us going on a journey together.